Hello everyone, welcome to Unspoken Beauty. So I kind of just want to give a background of what this channel is going to be about, what I'm going to be gearing towards, just so you can have an idea. So I kind of wrote this down so I can remember what to talk about, so bear with me if I am looking down. So I did decide to start this vocal platform for many reasons. I didn't want to stick behind my IG and just be posting just to be posting poetry, although I do enjoy writing. I just wanted to give my feelings a voice and not just be, posting all the time. So I think it's also easy to hide behind your work and not really express the deeper feelings behind how we feel. And I wanted to break down that wall and discuss topics that sometimes may be hard to face. And also create an area where you can come, watch, listen, and be encouraged by the things that I say and feel safe, where your feelings actually feel validated or understood. And I think everybody would love to feel that way. So as I mentioned in my post previously on my Instagram, which is, by the way, Speak Unspokenly, if you haven't followed me already, definitely give me a follow so you can have some updates. I wanted to make sure that even though I'm creating this extra platform of social media, that I still keep my health, my well-being, my main priority. I want to do everything in moderation. I think it's easy to get distracted and want to focus so much on, oh my God, I need to post all the time, or oh, if I fall off the bandwagon for like a week or 2 weeks or a month or a few months, that I'm nothing, or that my work doesn't mean anything, my words don't mean anything. At the end of the day, when I get back to it, I get back to it, and I know that my true supporters will be there rooting me on and waiting for me when I do come up with some new material. Also, just a brief rundown for any newcomers who don't know me. My name is Laura Ashley. I do go by LA for short because I do find myself in situations where people will call me Laura or Ashley or ask me why do I have two first names. Now, I had originally started my Instagram page in February. It was around the time where I was going through some rough patches, and I've always enjoyed writing ever since middle school. But I never really thought about publishing it or making it into a book up until February of last year. So, I really enjoyed just kind of purging those feelings out on paper. And I figured, hey, why not just put on social media, see, what kind of feedback I get. And one thing led to another. I was just like writing and writing and writing. And there were so many things going on in my life that were taking such a huge toll on me, and I had to make so many changes and adjustments in my life so that I was putting myself first. Typical breakups, friendships that weren't working out, and the biggest thing was my health. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but I do have multiple sclerosis, which is a illness of the nervous system. I kind of don't want to go down the line of the specifics of the sickness. I probably will save that for a different video and geared towards my MS warriors who need some encouragement and kind of just to talk about it. But it is a debilitating sickness. It really is unpredictable. It's unseen. It's not something that somebody can look at and say, oh, she has MS, which can make it very difficult sometimes because people think that you're just fine. And every day is literally a moment by moment struggle. When you feel good, you feel good. When you feel down, you feel down. And sometimes you may be having a good day and the down happens during that good day. And I think that's just normal in general with life as it is. But when you have a chronic illness on top of it, it definitely makes it harder. So I had all of that going on last year, and then I had to stop working, and it made it even more difficult because I'm only 26 years old. I had a lot of things in mind for my future that I wanted to do, and it was hard to think that, oh my God, I have limitations. I have to take a step back, and I didn't know how to deal with that. So I'm hoping right now that my lighting is not reflecting on my glasses and making this video very hard to concentrate on. I hope not, because I don't want to. Okay, we're just going to keep continuing. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I did start posting my work on Instagram. I published my first poetry collection May 4th of 2017, which is soon approaching. My baby's gonna turn 1 soon. And I'm working on actually revamping, doing a revised edition with new poetry in it, which I'm excited to put out there. But I am working very hard on it. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Now, there were some other points on here that I wanted to talk about. There were some things that some other people had actually messaged me to talk about too when it comes to writing, which I'm going to touch on. Okay, so let's talk about my book in general. So when I published my book, I mean, I was nervous. I think almost anybody or any writer can, you know, agree that you feel nervous when you're publishing your book, because essentially you are putting your life out there, you're putting your feelings out there, you're putting everything out there, and you're like an open wound basically, you know, because you're writing to heal, but it's almost as if you're kind of putting it out there. And as confident as you may want to be, you know, and say, oh, well, I got this, I don't care about other people's opinions. Let's just be real. You know, I think it's realistic to say that you are going to have your moments where you care about what people say. Your first review that you get on Amazon, or what people think, or the criticism that they may have. Now, of course, there's people who criticize excessively, and you can really tell that they have nothing else better to do but to try and make you feel, you know, peculiar. So, at the end of the day, I had to just put it out there. I didn't care. I just wanted to have my emotions and my words out there. And, you know, again, it was nerve-wracking. And, you know, you constantly think about or read other books and you're like, oh, my work kind of doesn't look like that or sound like that. Or, you know what? I'm not going to put my words in other people's mouth. I'll say for me, that's how I felt, you know, because once I got out there in the poetry community, I mean, the poetry community is so, you have your circle of people who are supportive, because I'm not going to say the whole community is supportive. You know, there are some people who, again, have negative things to say. It's just life in general. There are your positive people and your negative people, and you know, see who you connect with. But thus far, I haven't had any bad, you know, things to say. I have so many people who have been so great to me, and helped me out so much in my journey of writing. And, you know, when you read their work, you're just like, oh man, you know, and it's not to make your work like theirs. I ran out of some space, had to delete a few things. Where I left off was when I was talking about how when you are looking at other people's work, and how it's not so much how you want to make your work like theirs, but as you do grow with your writing, you do see certain adjustments that you have to make, you know, and how you would like your writing to evolve. I really lost my train of thought, and I hate that. My camera definitely just killed my vibe. But you know, it's been a year now, and so much has changed. So much I've learned when it comes to writing, certain things to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. But you start to realize what's really important, and it's really a liberating feeling, and it's such an art that we should be happy that we have. Not a lot of people are able to express themselves, and to be able to write and put yourself out there and actually press the publish button, it's such an amazing feeling. And I really, you know, applaud everyone who does that. And even if you haven't published your book yet and you're writing in general, it's one step closer. You know, you're getting what you've kept inside out, and that's such a healthy thing to do in general anyway. So I push anybody who wants to publish their book, you know, don't worry about so much of the outside effects. Find your people who, you know, stick close by you and support you, even if it's one person, just to root you on, you know, and give you that support that you need so that you can, you know, feel free. And I think it's a really good feeling when you put yourself in that position of confidence where you're not worried so much about what other people think or feel when it comes to your writing. I wanted to talk a little bit about what my next book is going to be about. If you haven't read my first book yet, my debut book is Table for One. It is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble's online. I will leave a link below and all the information there as well. I am working on a different vibe of my book. I don't want to say that there was anything negative in my first book at all, but I did want to kind of portion things where they should be, when it comes to love, when it comes to pain, when it comes to healing and forgiveness. And I wanted to really focus on the element of forgiveness, even though it is a very small portion of my book. But I wanted to put that in there because I think it's so important to, not that I think it's important, it's in the Bible, and I'm not trying to get preachy, but it's reality. When you learn to forgive and forgive others and then forgive yourself for even allowing certain things to happen in your life, you're able to be set free and you're able to be forgiven yourself. And when you do that, you're able to allow so much better things to open for you instead of holding on to that resentment and holding on to that anger so much. I mean, it's normal. When someone hurts you or something happens, the pain, you're going to have residuals. It's going to be there. I deal with it. It's hard when that happens, but focus more on how to move on, how to let it go. And for me, writing is the way for me to let it out. But not so much to bash a person or bash the situation. It's just to kind of let those little pins and needles go little by little. And I wanted to put those elements in just how I've evolved as a woman, as a person in general, my mentality, how I need to respect myself, and how I put myself out there. I felt like that was important to include in my book as well. So those are some elements that I'm going to have in there, focusing more on positivity and how to move on from a negative situation or a hurtful, painful situation. And just kind of, smile in the end after that. So I did want to just put out there are so many inspirational authors and writers out there, and I feel terrible because there's so many and I don't want to miss them. But I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I will actually make a list of, certain authors that have been so supportive to me and have held me down through so many situations that I've been through, especially with my health. Checking out their books, help support each other. Remember to support people who support you. And even if they haven't support you, support them, if they're good people, because you never know how it can come around back to you. But I will say, and I'm going to mention this one person because she has helped me just in the beginning of everything. Gretchen Gomez, my girl. I was so lost in the book community. I didn't know what to do. And just one message that I sent her changed my whole entire world as far as writing and putting my stuff out there. Sent a message to so many different authors because I was trying to figure out, how do I publish a book? I don't know how to do that. It's you think big. You're like, oh, I need to be a part of these big publishing companies, and it wasn't even about that. And I messaged so many people, and she responded to me literally, I think either the same day or the day after. Okay, I got cut off again. But I'm going to keep this short because I don't want to get cut off once more. But Gretchen, that was a shout out for you. And I literally poured my heart out, but I don't remember everything. But just know that you helped me so much, and I'm so appreciative for what you've done for me, and I'm so happy to have you in my circle up until this day. And there's so many other supporters out there: Melissa, Mckayla, Rebecca, Shelby. There's so many people out there that you guys have been so supportive, and I'm so thankful for you guys. There's just so much love out there, and I'm so happy that I'm able to be by your guys' side, and so honored to be by such strong women, who are, putting themselves out there, and it's not easy. So I'm gonna wrap it up there. I hope that you guys enjoyed my first video. I know it was choppy and all over the place, but next time on Unspoken Beauty, we will talk about changes, how changes can affect you, what it does to you. And if you guys have any suggestions or questions that you want to ask or for me to include, let me know. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and follow me on Instagram on Speak Unspokenly. It was great talking to you guys. Have a good night.